listen, I don't view this as a quote unquote easy schedule. I think that there are some matchups that scare me. To be honest with you, the Chargers matchup, I don't know why it scares me more than the Chiefs matchup. I don't know why it does, but it does.
Mm.
I just think that the Chargers are a lot tougher than people give them credit for. I'm excited to see how Harbaugh has. One thing about Harbaugh teams, they're always ready to go. They're always prepared. He has now. Typically, this might be the year you're able to take advantage of them because, like, it is a new regime, it is a new system in there. But I think when we're talking about it a couple years down the road, I think that this Charger team could be really really tough. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a tough. I think it's going to be a really really tough outing for the Bengals. I think the Cowboys matchup is tough
Always.
because I for some reason when we talk about teams that the Bengals match up very, tough against, the Cowboys are one of those teams, right? And I feel like the Cowboys don't do anything that's quote unquote special. They just do what they're supposed to do.
They got a good D line.
They got a good D
Good D
line.
line. They make some
Yeah.
timely interceptions. Yeah. DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons. Who was the Mozzie Smith?
Yeah.
Still has some room to grow, but I was a big Mozzie Smith guy coming out. Like they definitely have some talent there, and I think that's probably part of where that stems from with the Bengals and their the struggles with the Cowboys at that point was they were still very much building their offensive line. And I think this is definitely going to be the season of, hey, we've got a lot of weapons. We've got Gesicki, we got Burton in there, right? Yeah, I think this is going to be a big litmus test year for the Bengals, for the coaching staff, because if you run it back this year, I know injuries have been a huge issue with derailing the season and the plans and the success that this team we think should be able to achieve. But this year it's going to be, hey, you've got the offensive line, you've got the weapons, you've got Trey Hendrickson and Miles Murphy, who's a first round pick and coming onto the scene, and you've got Sam Hubbard's back healthy now, and you've got Mike Hilton and DJ Turner and Cam Taylor-Britt in another year. And if Cam Taylor-Britt is really that guy, then he's going to be stepping up. In the safety room, you got 4 safeties you feel good about now at this point. So like, there's really no like built-in excuse here. Like, nor, I'm saying they need one, but if severe injury doesn't happen and they underachieve, this team is definitely going to have to look at themselves and say, what do we need to do differently? Because we were about as prepared as we could be. We're not a young team anymore that's just relying on 20-yard deep shots and explosive plays and boundary go balls all the time to try and succeed and produce offense, 80 yards at a time. So that's one of the key takeaways from just looking at the schedule right now is, like you said, I see 4 or 5 games where I'm like, yeah, they should absolutely beat this team by 10, 14 points, right? But there's plenty of other challenging games that you mentioned on there. So
the Browns matchup is always a tough matchup.
Yeah, 100%.
The Browns matchup is always one of those
play their
ones.
best, their best ball against the Bengals.
And we always play our worst.
Right.
That's just how it is every year.
But that can't be the case.
I know.
That just can't be the case. Like
So
that. Like I don't know. For me in my life and anything I try to do, I can't. I hate mediocrity. I hate settling for less than. I'm allergic to coming in second. But I never sneeze. That's a Drake line. But so I think when I look at it, it's one of those things where I feel like the Bengals can't just look at themselves saying, oh, I just we perform badly against this team or that team. No, you have everything at your disposal. You went out and you upgraded almost every position group. So we think, right? So you think that this could be the year where they finally break through.